Both teams 1-1. Somebody gets to skip Championship Sunday perhaps if they can string together a couple of wins today. The loser has to play in front of the crowd with their tournament life on the line. Team Liquid, FaZe Clan, about to kick it off.
The fire of FaZe Clan versus Liquid. Can Liquid bring in the ice to cool off FaZe? This is going to be a big round matchup. No one going home and no one going to the playoffs afterwards, but it puts you in a very good spot. Gives you a lot of confidence and you can take down two teams full of super solid players who have been the best in their region. Both these teams, I believe, were #2 seed for their regions coming into this event. And we are very lucky to have that be our matchup here in this round.
Right, yeah. You could have two worse matchups than the matchups we've seen so far today. So here is Oski, throwing one right at First Killer. Typical, still downfield. Tried to direct that further on, and First Killer couldn't get on top of one to put this on target. It's very odd when you look at the numbers for FaZe Clan to see this team where First Killer is not the leading scorer. He's only scored 4 times in the first couple of rounds, where Mist and Typical have 5 each as a Tau shot just off the crossbar, and FaZe Clan rather slowly out of the zone, but fast enough. First Killer misses wide, and Oski was there for it.
Ball back into that midfield. Mist looking for a way in, but yeah, both teams trading here. As a 2 shots apiece, there's the passing though coming out from Liquid. We remember last time we saw Liquid, that passing was very clinical in their victory that gave them their first win, but we haven't really seen too much of that passing since. V1 did a good job of being able to cut it out, but there has been a little bit of space given here, and you got to wonder how both teams play with that space. Oh, the demo play, follow-up in! Tau scores first off the lead play from Liquid.
Tau cleaning up the mess. First Killer falling away into the net, almost looking helpless as that ball crosses the line. 1-0 to Team Liquid. Just under 90 seconds gone by. And this is kind of the problem for FaZe Clan in this matchup. Statistically, it's just not a favorable matchup for the North American squad. As First Killer jumps around a Chronic, and a Tau will keep this in the zone. Oski trailing behind, here he comes. His shot saved away by First Killer.
Good awareness there for First Killer. He was sitting just above the top left corner of the net, able to get to that one in time to get a save, but he's diving and he's playing this off his back wall. I don't think that's where First Killer wants to be. He's trying to get up out in front. Now, the reason why he's on this back wall is because of that man there, Oski, just getting on top of this one. The strong carries from Liquid, the way they play close to the ball has been super helpful, and the 50 on the goal line is the reason why this is still a 1-goal game as FaZe are looking for a way in.
That was as well defended as it could have been. Liquid in an awkward spot. FaZe Clan probably going to be thinking they really should have put one through, and instead on the other side, a Chronic just misses high. Now Zip to the corner. Under fire again from Team Liquid. Oski to center. Took a rather creative route, and nobody was ready for it anyways. So Tau will have to collect this right over towards Oski.
Good pass.
And again, just a good fluid trip into the zone for Team Liquid, but it's FaZe Clan that still weathers the storm.
Am I reading this right? Does Liquid have 11 shots this game in 1 goal? Meanwhile, FaZe Clan on their 4th score. It's Typical who finds it off the pass. Typical to First Killer to Miss back to Typical. I mean, we talked about Liquid passing, and FaZe sharing the ball works out big time.
Typical from Mist. Great 2-man game going there. So Typical now with his 6th goal of the event. Neither of these teams have lit up the scoreboard. 6 is good enough to be the leading scorer among players on the pitch right now. As Typical shot stuffed away by Oski. We're all knotted up here inside 2 minutes. An opening game that has very much felt like the opening round of a prize fight. Just the contenders throwing jabs out here and there. Some more than others. Talking about Liquid now with 11 shots. 6 on the side of FaZe. Oski looking for contact, couldn't find any, and Tau will try and keep this in the zone and available, and does so. And he's got a Chronic there, but missed. Up to the task. Here's Oski, shots on, and First Killer with the save, with death raining down from above as well.
First killer tries to beat a Chronic, but can't. Now you see a Tao in the air so quickly, gets some control, gets a 50 and wins. You talk about Mist being the best defender, but a Tao just pushes right through him.
9 times out of 10, you expect Mist to clear this one cleanly, and instead a Tao positioned himself perfectly. Little change up, 2-1 with a buck 11 to go. Opportunity for Liquid to get off on the right foot in this critical series. Again, so much at stake when you look at avoiding having to play in front of the crowd on Saturday with your tournament life on the line. A chance to string a couple wins together here. Here's a Tao. Doesn't have much support with him. A Chronic coming in from the side. FaZe Clan find themselves trailing again, having conceded just a truckload of shots. 15 now. A Tao with 7, Oski with 5, and Oski almost added another there.
A Tao so close too. FaZe have just been stuck on the defensive end. 11 saves from them. First killer with 5, and Mist and Typical with 3 apiece. Can they save this one? Absolutely not. It's a Chronic who forces it into the top right.
A Chronic getting it done by himself. You can only stop so many shots before the levee breaks. At a 3-1 lead now for Team Liquid, with FaZe Clan still proverbially scratching their heads, wondering how can they slow down this high-octane offense.
You know, you go back to G2's win, the interview with J-Naps, saying, you know, it's all about really, you know, that game 1. You can set the tone of the series if you come out of game 1 swinging, and that's exactly what Liquid have done this game. The offensive firepower is just too much for FaZe Clan. They haven't been able to handle it, and this game has gotten away from them. A Chronic will go for one more play. Can he get it? Oh, almost. A greatness there, but it doesn't matter if it goes in or not. Team Liquid, we're walking away with this game.
Some averages are going up on either side. 18 shots as a team from Team Liquid. Came into this major averaging just under 10. Came into this match averaging over 10 for the event. And FaZe Clan just could not stop them from getting shot after shot. Second, third, and fourth chance opportunities afforded by FaZe Clan, and Team Liquid eventually made them pay. Only to the tune of 3-1. I mean, hey, 3 goals from 18 shots. You'd like to see maybe a little more efficiency, but the number that matters on the other side, only the 1 goal allowed to FaZe Clan.
And you know, if you looked at the stats, you saw First Killer had 6 saves there.
Yep.
It's the same as Mist and Sips combined. They both had 3 apiece. The problem here is it's First Killer with the 6 saves. When we always talk about how he has defensive-minded players on his team, this is not really the place for First Killer to be. He shouldn't be excelling in the defensive category. They need to move the ball upfield. It feels like they can't. And the reasoning why is just because of Liquid's proficiency in moving the ball around. They're able to, 1, get past FaZe in the air, but 2, also pass in transition. And FaZe don't have a read on exactly when that's going to happen, so they've just been playing catch-up the entire time.
One of the big challenges there is First Killer will get one 8 seconds in. And how do you stop a team from getting the opening hand with possession? You score off the kickoff. Missed, good feed ahead. First Killer happens to be there. And FaZe Clan get exactly what they needed after maybe being overwhelmed in game 1.
Yeah, this is good for them because now they're forcing Liquid to come to them. FaZe Clan can really try to set things up, play how they want to. So adjustments being made on the side of FaZe, but it is only the first 20 seconds. We'll see exactly how Liquid are going to adjust now that they've trailed.
Typical there on the doorstep, but it's still dismissed. And a Chronic lob one away. That'll force FaZe Clan to reset, and a Tao happens to be there. And that's a great job by Mist. Very proactive on the defensive attack. Here's Mist, just a little wide, and it rolls up and away. So now Typical drop down to First Killer, and Team Liquid snuffed out the play. Not out of the woods just yet, as a Chronic has to send that out to the side. Mist giving chase to a Tao, but he'll back off. And this is great for FaZe Clan, an excellent response after an opening game where they just could not establish anything. Oski just denied by Mist, and Typical will have that down in the corner. Well done by FaZe Clan, again, keeping Liquid at bay. They're getting opportunities, but they're not getting close to the net, Daz.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, I mean, it's almost like the inverse. FaZe here have won the first minute of this game, and Liquid have yet to really record a shot. We talked about how many shots they had last game. This time it's been much slower, as they seem to be the ones who are playing more reactionary. We'll see if things change with Oski on the ball. He brings that one into the corner. Chronic's waiting on that back wall for Mist. Doesn't get a good challenge. Mist actually plays a pass too. He was looking for the bump on Oski, but great reactions from Oski, just trying to see if he can bring Liquid back into this one. A towel sends that ball straight to Mist, and now it feels like Team Liquid have the right ideas, but the execution is starting to lack.
It does kind of feel like FaZe Clan maybe took a game to adjust to exactly what they were going to see out of Team Liquid. I don't think they expected Liquid to come out with the kind of speed that they did, and that may be why FaZe Clan spent so much time on the back foot, unable to clear the zone. I mean, this is a team in Liquid. They've got a couple guys that are supersonic for about a quarter of the game. It's crazy how much boost they managed to go through and still managed to keep their momentum going, as this is cleared away, and Liquid still looking for their first goal in game 2.
Good idea there from Matau. Now the ball be sent downfield. He's up, but Mist is just up so much faster. Goes straight to Sip. Sip's trying to clear it to first killer, but Oski there with the cutout. And you can bet Liquid have their eye on where first killer is on the field, just trying to keep him at bay and limit his opportunities, which have not been too many. He's got 2 shots and 1 goal. So he's done his part here for FaZe Clan, but FaZe Clan have yet to also extend the lead. It's been a 1-goal game. We've got less than 2 minutes to go in regulation. Liquid can come back here. All they need is 1 good drive, so gonna be up to FaZe to see whether or not they can build off of this first goal they got.
Oh, first killer side flip, the towel up ahead, and Typical had to be very proactive. There were bodies downfield. Now a Chronic just lob one in, and feels like they're just trying to bait FaZe into a mistake and capitalize on it. Still only the 1-goal lead for FaZe Clan, as the towel will throw one ahead. Chased it himself, and at least kept this central and available, but there's Typical just ahead of a Chronic, and a good clear by first killer.
Close, but again, not enough here for Liquid. And to see the offense kind of slow down from them has been quite shocking, I'd say. But if they're trying to spin it up as the game ticks down, the pace of play is starting to speed up here in Aquadome, as Liquid know they don't have too many chances left to bring this ball to the orange end. They got to do something if they want to equalize.
Oh, Oski, a little acrobatic move to push that over towards the Tau inside the final minute. Here comes Liquid again. Certainly not out of this, though. A Chronic's at a half flip to get back. First killer lining up a double tap, and he could not convert. This opportunity keeps Liquid in this game. Oski now trying to dish it off to the side, misread it, but it still goes deep into the corner here. Oski waiting for this ball to come down. It does not for him, so a Tau now has to try and center. He cannot, thanks to the defense of FaZe Clan again, and this is exactly why they've built this team the way they have, to defend in moments like this, where in past seasons, this has not gone this way. They've crumbled under pressure coming down the stretch as we get to the final 15.
FaZe have built a wall on their own half. The question is, how strong is it, as Liquid trying to slip through the cracks? Are they going to be able to get something going here on this drive? A Chronic plays it out. A Tau does get a good touch, but it's not good enough, and first killer will ground it. FaZe Clan, it can equalize the series.
And what a statement that is from FaZe Clan after giving up 18 shots in game 1. Only the 7 afforded to a Chronic and a Tau. Nothing from Oski there. He was left very quiet. Couldn't get his presence known there in the offensive zone. And for Team Liquid, a team that is so hyper-aggressive, that had to feel almost like whiplash from being very comfortable in FaZe Clan's offensive end to just kind of being sent away with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, Oski was quiet. Sip was quiet on the side for FaZe Clan. Not really doing too much here, but getting some smart touches that I think that really kind of kept FaZe either in pressure or just kept Liquid off the ball. And sometimes that's all you need to do, to be able to get some of these disruption plays, because in the end of things, for FaZe Clan, yeah, they got the one, but if they're able to stop Liquid and really limit Liquid's opportunities, 7 coming from 18 is a big gap there.
Yeah.
Now I think this one was the more closer games where FaZe is starting to figure out Liquid's play style, and Liquid know that, okay, we have to make some adjustments here because FaZe is also adjusting to us. So big swing game coming up.
Yeah, big swing game. These two teams 1-1 in the Swiss. 1-1 here in round 3 as we get ready to go to the iconic backdrop of DF8 Stadium. And again, a huge momentum swing for either of these teams. And we talk about it not just in the micro of, all right, this event, but what it means to these teams in the entire tournament, or not, yeah, the entire tournament, their entire season. Because we know FaZe's history. They don't keep rosters together. And again, a strong performance under pressure right here can create diamonds. Here's Atao trying to throw one ahead for a Chronic. This will let that one go by. First killer's got it. And that opening goal, 8 seconds into game 2, that was the difference. As FaZe Clan leveled the series. Team Liquid, not many quality looks. They had those 7 shots, maybe what? 2 of them you think had a legitimate chance of getting past the defense?
That's the way it looked, especially for the Liquid side of things too. Just not necessarily looking as much of a threat as we saw from Liquid in game 1. Now in this game, it's been a bit of a stalemate as both teams have traded possession in the start. Atao gets a solid redirect, but you can see FaZe Clan starting to understand, okay, instead of just trying to play up to that speed, let's maybe just try to pull them out. That way, you can have some more space to create some offense here in the front.
Typical burned a lot of boost there to try and slow down Team Liquid. Nobody central for that. And the timing's been off for Team Liquid over the last 6 or 7 minutes of gameplay. A lot of passes thrown mid. Nobody's been there for them. There's a Chronic trying to create and denied right at the goal line. This is a little bit more of what we're used to seeing out of Team Liquid, but first killer. Classic at the back, able to bail them out again. Missed it typical, got tangled up, and the demolition critical there as first killer had to play it to his own backboard. Atao trying to leave it for Oski. A Chronic is waiting for a rebound that never got to him.
So close, but still so far away for Team Liquid. You can see FaZe chilling at the goal line, but Atao picks it up and is able to push this one in the back of the net. You see Typical here with that initial touch. Atao wins the 50. FaZe was expecting Sip to have that win. You can see it because everybody turns and tries to race back. Too little too late though. Liquid set the tone. 2:47 left on the clock, and they're up by 1.
And the instructions from the coach behind Oski there as Atao gets his 3rd out of 4 goals that Liquid have scored here in this series. Oski lobbing one ahead. There haven't, again, been many quality looks. Atao trying to create one of his own. There it is, and it's sent away off the flip reset. Now it's typical. Sometimes it almost feels like an NBA All-Star game where just one person takes over, and all right, okay, well, we didn't get there, so now I guess it's your turn to have to.
That's what it does feel like that, too, in my opinion.
Except they're playing defense.
Well, yeah, for FaZe Clan, at least in this game, there's been a lot of defense, too. For me, seeing this, look, as a Chronic takes this one, tries to send it to Atao, they go all in. I think Oski in the back end has been very important. He's able to get to the ball after it looks like FaZe can set up a counterattack and slow them down to where the Liquid have kept possession here. We have been camping on the FaZe side of the map here for over half the game. And FaZe don't really show too much signs of really threatening offense. And you start to get a little worried if you're a FaZe fan. They have just not been producing.
They spent a lot of time in the offensive zone, do Team Liquid. As a result, that's why they have all those shots. But not nearly as many, only 4 here in the 3rd game. They have the one that matters. The strike from Atao that has given Team Liquid a 1-goal lead. A Chronic from inside his net, able to send this one away. No follow-up there from FaZe Clan. It comes very late from Typical. And Atao up ahead to Oski, trying to catch him napping there, but missed. Sure-handed at the back as ever.
That's still good, though. The fact that that was on target, forcing a save on the defense, really well done there from Oski. But a minute remaining. FaZe Clan trying to find a way in, but Oski and the rest of Liquid have been holding on the defensive side, and that's a big win, and Mist has to stretch to clear that away.
Oh, first killer just ahead of a towel. Won't get much further forward. There's Mist though, the first killer. Tried to take a little bit off the shot to get behind the defense, and Typical just around a Chronic to make the stop and keep this manageable. Inside 30 seconds now with a towel. Looking for the knockout blow here in game 3. Mist won't allow it. Now Oski lost possession. So it's a Chronic dishing that off to the corner. More importantly, able to find a towel. But that's a dangerous ball. Give it away to Mist.
Oh.
Initial save, and then Oski clears it up. Oh, Team Liquid created a real mess for themselves, and FaZe Clan could not punish them. Final seconds tick away, and this is barely kept in the air. But they've got to go the length of the field, and well, they had the wrong guy on the ball. Everybody else had boost except Typical, and he couldn't keep it in the air. Team Liquid, 1 win away from getting another match today.
Yeah, look at this from Liquid, just, again, able to kind of weather the storm. Well, I mean, it didn't really feel like a storm, more like a drizzle from FaZe Clan.
Right.
Only 4 shots coming out from them. But Liquid, great control of the ball, great pressure. Even though Liquid didn't really put up that many shots, it was 2 apiece from everybody. It felt like they had the ball most of the time. And again, it's about playing with intent versus playing from behind, with the like playing catch up basically. And once Liquid got on the board, it was just FaZe Clan. We were expecting more offense from them. We didn't get it. They limited first killer to 1 shot in that game, which is not easy to do. It really isn't. But again, it goes back to Liquid being able to get that prep work in on FaZe. They know, it seems like they know how to shut them down. FaZe Clan shows some signs of life. Remember, we saw that the play towards the end, I think it was in the final minute, where a Chronic last back, he got a good touch. First killer goes for the bump instead of trying to turn around and play for the ball, but that gives Oski enough time to get there before the third man can follow up and try to take a shot at it. So I think that Liquid kind of got away with some things there, but that being said, a win is a win, and they need 1 more if they want to move to the round 4 high matches.
Sometimes we can make maybe too much of a thing. We can make kind of a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the body language I saw out of FaZe. I don't think anybody ever is a fan of what FaZe kind of shows outward there. Didn't look like anybody had anything to say at all. It's like they just kind of sat there in silence. Maybe Roldiz was talking to him the whole time. Couldn't really see, but certainly none of the players said anything. And, you know, the only time I ever experienced that when I played sports was when everybody was really upset and we lost by a lot of points afterwards. A Chronic just dancing through the air here, and the silence is going to be deafening for FaZe Clan now. 40 seconds in, the clock is ticking.
Look at that flip reset. They're smiling and laughing across from them. It seems like Liquid have started this game with intent to close out the series in a dominant fashion, as this opening minute has just been all Liquid. 4 shots, 3 of them have been saved. You know what happened to the one that wasn't. Uh-oh, chance here, Mist gets the double, but he doesn't put it on target. The net was wide open. You had Sip on the back wall as well. You just feel like that should have been a FaZe goal.
You feel like it absolutely should have been a FaZe goal. That's the one that's on target, and a Chronic had it lined up all the way. You can see, where, even though you can't see the players, you can see it slipping away. There's one, exactly what FaZe Clan needed. First killer, taking matters into his own hands. Off the feed from Mist, he'll get the job done himself. Patel just not able to get there in time, and FaZe Clan levels the score line.
Mist could have scored that. I think he could have scored that. And the fact that he placed it above the net when it was wide open gave Liquid a chance that they could have made a save. If Atal, I think, had an extra second, he's making that save. I'm not necessarily liking what I'm seeing here from FaZe, but they do end up tying this one up regardless. This is a very interesting development. I'm trying to figure out which way this is going to go. Mist on top of the ball, able to get a beat out on one. I will say Liquid's defense has looked very shaky this game. They've been giving up a lot of space, and there's a lot of open net opportunities FaZe have had this game, more so than we've seen Liquid give open net opportunities to anyone.
Yeah, this has not been a lockdown defense at any point in the season from Team Liquid. They've very much kind of subscribed to the theory that the best defense is a good offense, and their offense has been stellar, as it's looking here. Atao, first shot sent away. Chronic trying to keep this around as Oski cuts at midfield. Lob another back in, and Typical got to have this all by his lonesome with Mist underneath. Here goes Atao. Right there for Oski, and that's well done by First Killer to just get ahead of him. First Killer is always going to be a factor there, no matter how bad or good FaZe Clan looks. First Killer just got this away and trying to get a little help from Typical.
Oh, there's Oski. Puts a shot towards him, but look, the double command actually works out. Turns into a pinch. This is a Chronic looking for the solo effort. It's that first touch. Second one almost past Sip, but it's a good read from Typical. Miz clears it out in his space, and First Killer has to try to push it forward. Can't afford to control it as Oski was bearing down on him. Oski's raised too slow. Typical again, another cutout. First Killer tried to get there quickly, but Atao had a great read. Another chance. First Killer scores. FaZe up.
Whether they want him to or not, First Killer is going to drag this team kicking and screaming across the finish line if he has to. Great drop down there. First Killer recognizing where the ball was headed, made the cut, jumped in, 2-1 inside 2 minutes. FaZe Clan looking for any signs of life here, but that's the guy they need to get going. Missed. After missing that double tap, you wonder where his confidence may be. First Killer, another, and Atao couldn't catch up. Here comes FaZe Clan.
I'm now busy worried about Mist when First Killer's doing everything. This ball off the ceiling, great setup for Typical. First Killer, lots of power behind that. He is continuing to put shots on target, continuing to test the Liquid defense. And now it's Liquid who are caught on the other side of things. FaZe looking to force a game 5.
FaZe Clan giving themselves a little extra time to try and right the ship. They're still got to hang on for 90 seconds here. There's still that potential that Liquid could come alive as well. Atao's going to give up that midfield boost to a teammate. Try to get this to the backboard. It almost got through cleanly, but now here's Oski. Flip reset. Tried to get a second, just couldn't quite get under. And that pinballs around for Typical to clear away. Still no boost for Typical. He's been in that position a lot. He's had to work extra hard. And Atao has got through. Oh, First Killer was starting to come up in midfield. Atao got that touch, threw everything for a loop, and nobody else could get back.
First Killer expecting Mist to get that touch there on the sidewall. It was an awkward position, and you talked about someone having to work hard. Atao didn't have to work hard on that goal.
No, he did not.
That one just kind of rolls in. Liquid back into the game now, a minute remaining, as all they need is one more to be able to tie things up. I say that, I lied. It's 2.
Who but First Killer, who does it yet again, picks Oski's pocket and still finds a way to drop that in. Back to a 2-goal lead with 55 seconds remaining. He's got 5 out of the 6 for FaZe Clan. It's been a similarly one-sided story over on the Team Liquid side. Oski has no goals, no assists. It's been Atao who's been carrying the squad. He's got 4 out of the 6 that Liquid have scored. As First Killer will need a second touch, doesn't have it. That's taken away by a Chronic, and there's Mist, doing exactly what he was brought on to do, making the save there, and he'll clear that out to the side. Oh, good demo there, and it's available. A Chronic couldn't tuck it in. Mist just got there in time. Liquid want that one back, and they've got to go the length of the field to get it.
Not enough time here. A Chronic, high ball, Atao, a little too late. Typical's gonna get there in time. 15 seconds remaining in this game, and the adjustments from FaZe have been well noted. I say adjustments from FaZe, adjustments from First Killer mainly. Now Mist playing in that back end, and it feels like they're finally filling into their roles as, guess what? Champions field bound between these two. One more for the road, pinch goal from FaZe.
Sure, why not? Continue padding the stats. Mist officially gets his 4th assist out of this as they pinch that one home. And FaZe Clan make the adjustment of, quite simply, give First Killer the ball and get out of the way.
Yeah. First Killer, once he was able to get his space, but it wasn't even getting space. It was more so once he just started commanding the field here. I mean, we saw exactly what happened there with Liquid, where they're playing the ball off the sidewall. You see Oski and first killer comes out of nowhere, says, nope, that's mine, that's going in the back of your net. Again, so many different opportunities that were controlled and created all by first killer. That impact performance is huge.
And you can see the spirits are much higher now for FaZe Clan. After they got shut out in game 3, again, it just looked like it was all silence. We saw it just roll Diz crack a little smile there, and now it's Team Liquid that are all dead serious as we get set to head to Champions Field under probably some of the more unlikeliest of circumstances, right? I mean, it looked like FaZe Clan was going to be dead in the water going into game 4, and then they got that jolt of energy out of first killer.
Oh, yeah. A jolt is, I mean, that's more of a lightning strike.
Right.
Shot 5 for 6 that game. Very well done for first killer, and FaZe only had 8 shots as a team total, so it was a Herculean effort, that's one of your words, that got FaZe here in this moment, but it's not over yet. Champions Field, game 5, Team Liquid versus FaZe Clan, and only one is going to go to the high match. No one eliminated, though, from this, but you just don't want to go into the crowd playing for your life.
Exactly, that's a lot of pressure you just don't need. As first killer, I think able to grab that midfield boost on his way back, contesting, I think it was with Oski. And now it's a Tau trying to stop him. All he could do was slow him down. Here's the Chronic with Oski waiting underneath. The Tau running ahead. Oski waiting, just could not pull the trigger. And FaZe Clan will get out of this unscathed.
Touch downfield. First killer going up for that one. Good follow-up as well. And first killer show cut short by Oski. As Oski, I will say, over the course of this series, has been doing a good job of being able to manage first killer. Anytime first or FaZe start to get going, Oski is usually there to cut off in the midfield. As I say that, he's there to stop that one. And it's those types of things. He may not be a person who is lighting up the scoreboard or even getting a lot of demos, but if he's able to really get these midfield cuts and connections, it could slow down FaZe Clan or even catch them off guard.
Well, again, Tau and Oski have been two of the faster players in the first couple of rounds. Just haven't seen that materialize in any hard numbers for Oski here. The chances round 1, trying to play table setter here, at least facilitate Liquid's attack that has been tamed by comparison. Again, the 18 shots in game 1 and kind of held in check the rest of the way. Oski, second touch, easily dealt with by Typical. And a Tau is right there to stop first killer, but he'll still run forward because where else is he gonna go? Waiting mid, and it's never gonna get there, so he'll have to retreat. So too will Typical. First killer, around 1. And the pass over to Sip, and Oski made the save.
So close. Oski with the ice as he's able to make that save on the goal line. Looking for a bump on first killer as first killer was trying to bump him. And first killer able to do the same, dodging out these demos. Meanwhile, demos still happening left and right. You can see Oski and first exchanging a Tau. He holds off the ceiling trying to get another piece of the ball, but it does go straight to Typical. Bump on the play. Oski last back again, gets the boost, gets the ball, does not get bumped. Halfway through this game, it is tense as ever as Oski puts a shot on target. Won't be able to get a follow-up here. A Tau played into the corner, but it's straight to first kill. We've yet to see him really wake up in game 5. All it takes is one right setup for him, and he can will his way through and even potentially will FaZe to a game 5 victory.
There's a lot of signs of maturity beyond their years for a lot of these players out there. First killer after having really to hard carry in game 4, putting a lot of faith in Typical and Mist, willing to pass the rock, willing to set them up. It's not like he's just completely abandoned all faith. And over on the other side for Team Liquid, they're still trusting Oski in really difficult situations. He's on his way back now, grab that midfield boost, and he will be able to grab this out of the corner as well. FaZe Clan might have wanted that opportunity back as a Tau waiting in midfield, missed over him, and a Tau there to stop Mist there.
It feels like FaZe have Liquid on the ropes.
Yep.
The way this is looking, a lot of pressure here for FaZe, and Liquid have been caught in some really uncomfortable spots. Sip plays it low. A Tau can't win a challenge. That's 250s won. And now you got to look at what Liquid can do because it doesn't really feel like they're in control. They finally put a shot on, but it is easily saved. FaZe Clan covering the net well.
Chronic just got a piece there and missed. A little too slow on the challenge from Atao, but now he'll get a shot well high. Again, those shots just have not been on target, and maybe some by design. Here's Atao, denied by First Killer.
Oh, First Killer, 3 boosts. That's a big
Awkward.
flick, though. Oski was in trouble, but he was able to recover. A great recovery from Oski. Now, leading his way downfield, leading Liquid downfield. Missed. Plays it to the side. Oski gets a demo on Sip, and First Killer's going to have to carry this downfield. Will do well for that, but not until it is cleared back in. The battle from midfield has been so close. There have been some uncomfortable situations on both teams. Everybody's held firm. Game 5 coming down to the final seconds.
One team preserves their
Whoa.
second life in this event.
Oh!
It could be FaZe Clan with Mist coming through. What a time to score his first of the series.
Look at this drop down. Typical gets a piece and missed with the shot. Oski he knows Typical's behind him looking for the bump. He tries to get up early out in front of it and throws himself out the play. 19 seconds left. Liquid are gonna need some magic off the kickoff.
Liquid at one point had to have felt like they couldn't possibly lose this series, and FaZe Clan is about to rip it right away from them. Oski to the backboard against Mist. Oski kept it close. It's available and denied right at the goal line by First Killer. No time on the clock. First Killer trying to end it. Chronic. All the time in the world, but he couldn't get underneath. And FaZe Clan survives.
You can see the faces on Team Liquid. After on that last play, they just lost it. But FaZe Clan, sigh of relief